Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Welcome to the show this morning. We have Elsa Nilson joining us today. Yes, she's an HSR certified professional interior redesigner, decorator, and professional organizer. The name of the company, Elsa's Divine Design. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Jill. And thank you for having me today.
Well, we are excited to have you here and to get to know you and all you do around now. Hold on. You're in Georgia, right? Shelbyville to be exact.
Snellville, it's close to Atlanta. Yes.
Beautiful. But you're working with people all over the world at this point, aren't you?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Amazing. So, first and foremost, tell me just a little bit about Elsa's Divine Design and what it is.
Well, my company is a very specific company. What we do is we have the service that we help people organize their spaces by purging, then organizing, and then we put systems in place so that it's possible for the client to keep on working and keeping everything in space, in a certain space, in a certain place, and that it's not hard for them to maintain. But that's not the only thing, because that is just organizing clutter on the service where you can see. But clutter goes so much deeper.
Oh, it
And
does.
that is where we come in. Yes, and that's where we come in, that we are able to walk the extra mile with my clients if they want the services, because the unseen clutter is normally the more difficult thing. And we go down to the roots and we pull that out. We bring it to the surface and we work with that so that they can live a more fulfilled life.
Wow. And just speaking from personal experience, I know we don't know each other well yet, but I have an 8 and 10-year-old. I've been a single mom since day one, and my issue is the clutter. And I don't have the time. There's one room in the house that's a spare room. You can't even walk into it. It's so embarrassing. And it weighs on me, the angst of that room that I can't get to. But now it grew, right? Because now
Yes.
downstairs in my house looks beautiful. Nobody would ever know I have a problem like this. As you go up the steps, that's where I'm dropping. I still have the Christmas bins, the Halloween bins. Then I have the mail. So upstairs in my home, it gives me anxiety, it gives me angst, and I'm sure this is what your clients are going through, and embarrassment. That it's not easy to know that you're feeling out of place mentally, and the clutter's affecting that, and vice versa, right? I'm sure you've seen it both
Yeah.
ways, and you would know best.
Yeah, totally, totally. That is exactly what happens. We live in a world that is so consistently busy, and we all are just trying to make ends meet. You like a single mom, but also in households where there are two people. Dad is just working, mom have to take an extra job to help dad pay the bills, and we all got so involved in our everyday life that the things that we think is okay, we can drop, we just drop that. But we don't really realize how deep that goes inside, how deep that is rooted, and that it's actually possible for us to dig deep and see where that root is coming from. Because if we bring it up to the surface, it's totally possible to heal from that problem, and get to the other side, that we can live our best lives.
Absolutely. Well, before we dive deeper into the services you're providing, and of course, getting to know, some of the work you do through your clients' testimonials and your sharing stories, I'd like to know a little bit more about you. Would you mind giving us a little bit of your background? Where are you from? How you got into this field? Yeah, give us a little walk through Elsa's life.
Okay, yeah. So Elsa comes from a small town in South Africa. I grew up first in a town called Mafeking, and then I moved to Stella. And that is where I were up to my senior year before I moved to the capital city to start working over there. But as a child, that's actually how I got into this business. As a little child, I had a dream because I always had this passion and I was consistently busy to organize my own bedroom. But just like a lot of other kids, I had this way of just trying to keep this space neat. I would push the rest of everything that I can find in the to the closets, into the
Under the bed.
yes, into the drawers, close it up, and then I feel good about the part that I can see. You know, what the eye can see, if that's neat, I felt very good. Until one day, I think my mom awakens it in me because she came and she opened a closet and she saw what it looked like. And she just put her hand in and she scratched everything out. And she said, now you can start over and see if you can do it better.
Oh,
So I took my time and I decided I am going to do this better. So I start finding ways how I can fold everything and how I can put it nicely that I could see all my clothes. And it just made something alive inside of me that I just wanted to do this. So after it was my bedroom, my closets, it started with my
did you
school
start doing,
backpack. It
and then were you
always
doing
needed to be
mom's work?
neat. And
Were you
then
doing the
from there,
pantry and the kitchen and all and helping mom
I,
out with her
I
stuff
was
next? Dad
I
with
was
the chores in the garage? You must have organized everyone's space, Elsa.
I would say I did go as far as walking around in the house and see where is there something that I can do.
Oh,
And that I think I'm not going to get in trouble. If I just change this a little bit, then I might be able to approve from mom. So yes, that's what I did in the beginning. And that's actually where the passion started, is that I one day wanted to help other people to feel more at peace in their own place because I immediately I feel better because I know
yeah.
exactly where my stuff is. I knew where to go and look for something. And through life, I realized that the more things you have, the more clutter you have, the more time it steals from you, the more energy it steals from you. And the more you have to put into getting it back into order. And even silly little things, you can't find anything. So now you have to look for it, and it takes in half an hour, or you just get in the car and go to the store and go buy a second one because you can't find the previous one. And that is exactly what I wanted to take away from my clients, not to have that headache, but that they would be able to go into the place where they want a sanctuary, where they needed peace, that they can feel this is exactly how I want to live, and that there's easy systems in place that they can just get everything back into place.
Wow, beautiful story. So we commend mom for her inspiration to you. And then when did you actually start this business of again, it's Elsa's Divine Design?
Yes. Well, I first moved to South America in Paraguay. I lived there for 12 years.
Wow.
And there I would always help friends if they need
Okay.
help. But I was also did another job. So I didn't do that all the time. And in 2012, I moved to the US. And very short after, about 6 months after moving here, I started my organizing business over here.
Amazing. And it's not just organizing. We're going to talk about the decorating, the tablescaping, and all that you do. There is a lot to the services you offer. And it's great, that we're here getting to know you. And as you say, you're an expert redesigner, decorator, and professional organizer. So anyone out there that's overwhelmed by clutter, yeah, you're here to help them give that makeover, right? And we're talking every room in the house. Do you even do
Yes.
like garages, attics, sheds? Can you organize all that too?
I do everything. Yes, yes. Garages is normally a bigger job.
Task.
It will take sometimes a week, 2 weeks. Yes, and there will be other things involved like a dumpster and all kinds of things. But yes, we do every single area. I do garages, I do sheds, closets, pantries, anything you want. I can do that. Yes.
Beautiful. Well, can we talk a little bit about specifically, some of the work? Where did you want to start in regards to the organizing, decluttering, or the decorating aspect?
Okay, so I can walk you through the process, for
Sure.
example, if we decide to, because it's one of the things that I get the most. So I would like the listeners to know there are a certain thing that you can do step by step to make it easier for yourself with your closet. And I think it's because, and it's normally, I would say 80% of the time, it's the closets for women because we have the most clothes and we love dressing and we want clothes for every occasion and we change our clothes a lot. We also like to have purses and jewelry and all the things that goes with being a woman. So when we start with a closet, I came
Mm-hmm.
sometimes to a place at a client's house where you would think there will be clothes on a heap here and a heap over there. But when you get there, you would see that clothes are actually on the floor already, like 2 feet high, and you can actually not even see where you can start. The best way to start is always to start with a clean slate. So you will take everything out of the closet, every single piece of it, and you will start purging. And for that, you will need the client to be with you because I can't decide, what articles is she not using a lot. So the articles that are a lot, um, too much for them to handle. She doesn't need 17 black long sleeve blouses. We
But
will
we
go
feel
through.
we do. There's an issue there. So look, let's go through the process.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So we will go through that and we will pick a certain amount that she will keep. But the ones that are not in good shape, that are not in fashion anymore, that doesn't fit her body shape anymore, all those kind of things, or are too big or too small,
Yeah.
those ones we will put in heaps for donate or for garbage if it's really not in good shape. And the rest of the other ones, we will keep those bundles together and then we will start organizing the closet after we clean it with new systems in place. And we will categorize summer and winter blouses,
Oh,
dresses, all that kind of things. And then we will go a little bit further and we will even color coordinate everything. So and a lot of people can't really see why color coordinated, but
yeah.
if you are going to a certain and you need a certain attire for tonight, and you walk into your closet, and you've got just like 20 minutes to get this thing done, you need to be able to know, okay, I need black. So go to the space where you see there's a lot of black, grab what you need there. And even when you did your laundry and you want to hang things back, it's much easier to just take the black piece back to the black section than looking through everything to see where do I fit. So that will be very quick, very simple. It's not every single step, but that is the simple steps to be getting a better closet.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I love hearing that. And I agree. I like the color coordination. But the one thing, talk to me about the attachment that we as human beings have to our items, our belongings, all those black sleeve dresses. How do you get them to lose that attachment? Because you need some guidance. Some people, it's hard to
Yes,
get rid of things.
yes, it's very, very hard. And that is how I've done this job for many, many, many years. The physical decluttering and organization before I start really realizing that there's so much deeper clutter.
Hmm.
And that is when it comes in with life coaching and that you coach them through that
Yeah.
because there are something inside where they sometimes, that attachment came in
Oh, yeah.
maybe as a little girl. And we need to go deep inside, find the root of the cause, bring it up. And we actually have to accept that pain that's inside of you. We have to accept it with love so that we can start heal. If we don't do that, we will keep on staying stuck in the past.
Beautifully said. And I would love to hear, some of what your clients have experienced working with you. There's amazing testimonials on the website, of course. And let me just share one or two, and then I want to hear some from you if you don't mind. This is Daniel C. in Marietta, Georgia. I hated my place. She was the first person that came up on my Google search. I contacted, I immediately felt she knew exactly what I wanted. I'm very happy with the results. Very punctual, organized, and her crew of installers is very effective. And now I love the place I live. Michelle says Elsa's amazing. She made my home feel like a new house, and I wanted in. I love her personality and professionalism. She is the best. So everyone's recommending you, talking how amazing. There's someone else. Sherry says I moved a few months ago, but couldn't find the energy to tackle the pile of boxes in my living room. We all can relate to this. Elsa came to my rescue. It is such a difference, and I feel more at home. Everything is in place, and I feel so much more comfortable and productive. I feel confident having friends over to see my new place now. So, do you want to share a story or two about someone who you've
Um,
guided through this process? I mean, these are great to hear.
it's always just so, I think that is what making this job so fulfilling is when you get to the place where the problem is resolved
Yeah.
and the people are just so happy and they just feel like I don't even want to leave my home now. They didn't want to come home, but now they don't
Yeah.
want to leave their
Of
home. They just
course.
want to be there. Yes. I think that that feeling of that they are satisfied, that is just always the best. It's just like, okay, what is the job for tomorrow? I want to feel this all over again with the next client because it's just an amazing feeling to have. But there are also things with, you talked a lot about some of the testimonials now of the physical clutter. I will share one of a client that I had to do some deep emotional decluttering. She couldn't find a job. She is an artist. She's amazing. And she just couldn't find a job. She couldn't get her work out there. She always was doubting herself. And she came to me and she said, I just need help. I know my work is good, but I don't believe in myself. I don't think anybody would want it. And I don't know how to get there to the next phase. So we went in and we did very deep work. Now I have to give a little bit of an explanation to you. Um, when I realized clutter is not only the physical, I had to start get equipped for how I can help my clients further. And that's when I started studying as a life coach and later as a health coach. Um, but I worked in that for quite some time, probably 3, 4 years, when I realized that no, there's more. Because the most life coaching and health coaching is all behavior change. And what we do is we remove bad habits and replace it with good habits, and it works. That's why they are doing the work. But clients and people are different, and sometimes they need a different level of of a different level of where they can be found,
Mm,
where their problem can be discovered. And that's when I realized that I actually have to study as a master coach, that I can be informed, trauma informed, that I can work on 5 different levels. And so we are doing, I do somatic work and I work on the emotional levels. I work on the mental levels, then the behavior, and then the unconscious. Because if you work on all 5 of those levels, you get so much deeper and you
yeah.
dig things up that you didn't even know existed. So this specific woman was she was 57, 58 years old and still struggling to get somewhere. And so when we really started digging deep, she remembered when she was 4 years old, she went through a sexual abuse, and it was a very emotional session, and she brought it all up and she forgave herself because there was always that root inside of herself that she can't be a success because she didn't even protect herself. But when she realized she was a little girl and she could actually come to the place of accepting what happened to her, and she can forgive herself because it's not her fault, she was just a little girl, she started healing. And she even moved countries now. She's doing great. She is at peace. And she just keeps in touch with me once in a while, but she doesn't even need, sessions all the time anymore. And that is really a powerful story for somebody that can live their best life after all the clutter is out.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing this. My goodness. And again, we're talking clutter, we're talking organization, all these things that you do. But then there's also the decorating side of things. And I know this is, being our first show, I just want to make sure we're covering everything for you in our last few minutes together. Did you want to touch upon that?
I could quickly try. Okay, so yes, I am a redesigner, but the part that I love the most, let's say this. My birthday is on Christmas. I'm a Christmas baby. So since I was small, I always felt like I don't have my special day just for myself. I always are surrounded with other people on Christmas, but I don't have a birthday just for myself. So since young, I decided, okay, I'm going to just celebrate a whole week. That turned into when I grew up, start having Christmas clients that wants me to help them to decorate their mantles, their staircases. And then from over there, I started designing their Christmas trees with certain themes and things. And now at this stage, just after Halloween until just before Christmas, I decorate for Christmas clients all the time. That's the fun time of the year, and it feels like to me like I'm just celebrating my birthday all the time. I've got this long celebration now for myself that I do that, and not only for Christmas but Thanksgiving, Easter, special birthdays. People will also call me to set up beautiful tables for them, for their family and loved ones when they come together. They still want to sit around a table and have a special time. And that's when I will come and I will set the tables for them.
Beautiful. Let me ask, what would you say is the most challenging part of your job?
Of the decorating part.
Yeah, in general, in general, what would you say is most difficult and what do you find most passionate? I'm just trying to get to know you. My goodness. I
Okay.
feel like you just love it all, but yeah.
Yes. It really lights my fire, all of this stuff. But I think the best thing is because you can help people
Yep.
to get that breakthrough and to be able to help people. That just helps me to be the person that I should be, and to see that breakthroughs that my clients have from good, going from good to great. That is the thing that really makes me tick as well. But always to be there and help everybody the best I can. I think my expectations for myself is very high. So whatever I do, I want to do the best. And I think that's kind of uh, the very fulfilling part, but also a hard part. But I would say of all the different things I do, the hardest part, what people don't really understand is how hard it is to physically organize. It's an extremely hard physical job. You use every part of your body. You move heavy things. You're the whole day on your feet. You're up and down the whole time. You're bending over the whole time. You literally have a workout the whole entire day. And it's not only that part, but it's also the mental part because you always have to think this specific client, this is going to work the best for him. How am I going to label these things that
Yep.
he will be able to find it, that he will not be confused of where his things are. These things he really doesn't need. And this I can put in a different section, but this is really everyday
Got
stuff.
it.
So that the mental with the physical, and keeping in mind that, like you said before, it's emotional for the client. They have to sometimes get rid of things. You have to help them to accept what they don't need anymore. So if you bring all that aspects together, the physical organizing part is really hard.
Got it. Thank you so much. My goodness. Well, we are almost out of time. Let me just ask you something. You mentioned labels. I have a friend, and I love going to her house because in her pantry, everything is labeled with clear bins, and you see everything. And I mean, do you find a lot? It's so much more helpful to have a system like that. Do a lot of people? Do you believe in that in the kitchen cabinets in the
Yes,
pantry, and her
for
bathroom?
sure.
Underneath the bathroom, you open up. There's this clear, and it's like Band-Aids. It's all medication, and everything is labeled tampons. It's just like wow. I want to go through her drawers because they're so neat and organized. And yes, I love the label system.
Yes, yes, that definitely works. That definitely works, especially for somebody that are in a rushed life and they bring a lot of groceries. Let's say, for example, they bring that home and they have to unpack. A lot of people will just push it all into the cabinet because I've got just 5 minutes. But if you can read, okay, this is canned foods, this is snacks, this is that, and you just put it in there directly out of the bags, then afterwards somebody asks you, where can I find something to eat? And you would tell them, open the drawer on the right side, there's a snack bin. You will see it right there. And it's very, very easy. It makes sense to live an organized life. It's not because we freaks, it's because we like peace. We just want peace in life. We don't want to worry about all the small little details of life.
Got it. Oh my goodness. All right. And how did you kind of want to sum up for today with your audience, about the work you're doing? And you're clearly so passionate about helping. And that goes a long way, right? You not only have a business of helping people do these things, you actually struggled in your own right. You can really empathize with these people for what you went through. Now, let me just ask something. Is anyone else in your family organizationally challenged, or have you taught everyone? To change over the years?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a very good question. You know what? My kids are all grown, they're on their own, and I always say, if you are a mentor to somebody, the best way to mentor is not to overload them with words, but just live by example. They will pick it up. And both of my children, I can tell you honestly, they like organization. They don't
Ah,
feel well in their space if they can't function well because it's disorganized. So they are doing very well. And my husband, I am very proud of him. He really is trying his best. He's picking up behind himself. And of course, because I am an organizer, there will still be, why don't you close this closet door? Why this? Why that? But he's really trying his best, and I think I trained him very well.
oh, amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here today, for sharing your organizational skills with us and all that you do. Would you mind telling
Thank you
us how
so
we can reach out to you? What's the best form of contact?
well, with email as well as with to my website. You can find me on my website at elsasdivinedesign.com. And you can also find me at coachelsa.com. And you can also contact me by mail, hello at coachelsa.com.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Pleasure having you here and looking forward to the next time we get to connect. And again, I urge everyone to go to that website, as you just mentioned, elsasdivinedesign.com. Check out the reviews, check out the gallery. You want to see some of the work she's done. And hopefully we get to talk again. I love the Christmas tree look, by the way. But your homes that you're working in look so organized, so clean. And maybe next time we could talk a little more about the trends you're seeing in, home decorating and of course in organization. Thank you so much. Pleasure getting to know you today.
All right.
All right,
Thank
sweetheart.
you so much, Jill. You have a wonderful day.
You too,
Be
sweetheart. Enjoy
blessed.
the
Bye
beautiful
bye.
weather. Hold on, I got to ask, what's the weather in Georgia like right now?
You know what? Today's a little bit cooler than normal, but last week was extremely warm, and from tomorrow it's better again. So we like in the 60s, sometimes 70s. Today we have a little bit of degrees in the 40s, but it's
Ah,
it's climbing already. So we have
see?
actually great weather.
And the good weather gives you, yeah, you're just such a happy person. We're in the 20s right here in New York. So I'm living vicariously through you. Thank you again, Elsa. Please check out the website again. Don't forget Elsa's Divine Design and looking forward to speaking with you again. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.